right. Very happy to introduce our listeners to one of my favorite comedians and people, the GOAT, Bobby Condon.
Hey, how's it going, Joffer? Good to be here.
Yeah, how are you doing today, Bobby?
I am doing very well. I walked 8 flights of stairs to get up here.
Yeah, our
that
elevator
was a fucking experience. I got my steps for the week.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
other than that, very good. I mean, even
I
including that,
finished
very
like my productivity of the day. Like I'm like I don't feel like recording a podcast.
Yeah, you were winded coming up here.
I
had
was.
a resting period.
I was because you were here first. The guest was here first. So I was like, I gotta get the fuck upstairs to meet Bobby. And so
here on time.
I'm honestly still kind of recovering, but that's what.
It was a trip.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they say podcasting is the most dangerous and important job that exists today.
You got to be physically fit.
Yep, that's true. But Bobby, as I was saying, if I can do a little plug, Bobby,
Do a plug,
one of my
baby.
favorite comedians, and special just dropped.
It did just last week.
Yeah, so you got, what's it called?
Yeah, Greatest Hits Volume 2. I have undergone the intensely humbling process of releasing a special when nobody knows who the fuck I am.
Right.
So right now,
Released, I believe it's Bobby Condon Records. Right?
Yeah, Bobby Condon Records via YouTube, and I am languishing at 1.8 thousand views at the moment.
Oh
So
my
if
God,
you
Bobby.
guys wouldn't mind watching the fucking thing, you don't even got to watch it. Just press play. Quincy, I'm asking you to do the same thing. Go on to YouTube, search Bobby Condon. Looks just like condom except an N at the end. Greatest Hits Volume 2. Hit play. Leave the fucking room.
Yeah.
Just give me some. I spent $5,000 fucking dollars to do the thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's out.
You don't even have to hear a single joke.
Well, you won't hear a single joke on there really anyway. It's just the rantings of an upset, privileged man. So
Yeah.
enjoy. But yeah, you don't got to listen to shit.
No, but please listen to it.
Yeah, that too.
I'm a big fan. Haven't watched it yet. Now I feel guilty. Now I do feel bad.
You're a comedian too, even though you've decided, I
don't do
suppose, that you quit.
stand up anymore. I just do this. Is this comedy? Debatable.
It's comedy adjacent, but I think you're a great stand-up and you should return to the stand-up world. But I'm not gonna fucking do that on your little podcast. Okay, I think you should join us back in the comedy world. Your voice is sorely missed, but you are a great stand-up. But as a stand-up, I would say we don't need to fucking listen to our peers' specials.
Thank
and
you.
all those jokes, you've heard them.
And I
you
love them.
So
And I have heard them.
you have heard
Yeah.
them for sure. So you've heard the special. It just looks prettier now.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. But it's out. It's good. It was fun. It's done. I'm glad to like be done with it. Now I just have to promote it for the rest of my
But
fucking
why?
life.
I have to ask why. Like, look, obviously, it's a travesty and a symptom of how low the world of stand-up comedy has gone. That you only have 1,800 views, but also it has to be a little bit your fault. There's only 1,800 views.
100%. I would
It
say
can't
it's
be
100%
that
my
low.
fault.
I mean, like 20,000 views. That's the
Okay,
regular like
20,000 views. Who am
That's
I
a
fucking
regular
Louis
low.
C.K. here? Okay, look, the thing, it is definitely my fault. But I mean, I think you would agree with this, and I also think this is low key the reason you don't do stand up comedy anymore is the act of promoting oneself is absolute fucking torture.
Yeah, it
and
is.
if it is not torture, you are a piece of shit, okay? And the people that are famous because they're able to maybe not even sacrifice any integrity. They never had it in the first place, and or they just want to be famous. And look, there's a lot of our peers that I could say by name that would sound like very sour grapes to talk about, like, oh, this person's famous. It's like, that's because they put the work in. Well, God bless them. They deserve what they get. They actually fucking worked at it.
No,
you and I do not work.
I agree with the most simple version of your premise that every successful comedian is a piece of shit. Even the ones, like, it's suspicious. Like, why
Yes.
you figure this shit out? That you must have put a lot of work in to
Well,
get
yes,
famous. That
yes.
was your whole goal, to be successful. Fuck you. Even the comedians that I do love and were like truly my peer. That we're at the mark now. We're at the point of the timeline of doing comedy where like our peers
Some of our friends are making
some of
it.
our
Yeah.
friends are getting pretty rich and famous. And once they become rich and famous, I'm like, well, you were a piece of shit this whole time? Oh my God. What the fuck?
I mean, okay.
I feel betrayed.
I think that is true. I think there are exceptions that prove the rule. I think Jeffrey Asmus is a great exception. And I don't know your opinion of him, but
No, I love Jeff. I think he's a great guy, and it makes me sad that he's a piece of shit. He's been a piece of shit this whole time.
Well, he is like a tireless, relentless, like
Yes.
worker and
Yes.
very prolific. And it's like, okay, someone like Jeff, I'm like, God bless you.
He's
You
an
made-
exception because his mental illness doesn't come. He has a sociopathic obsession of jokes.
Yes.
For jokes.
Yes.
So there is still something sociopathic there.
That is
but
true. He
at
is
least
not
it's pointed.
right.
Yeah.
Yes, that is
it's
true.
wrong to be the way that he is. But at least he's found
is
his
totally
target. The target of his sociopathy at least is pretty harmless.
It is. I would say yes. He is at least doing no harm. He's
Yeah.
he's adhering to the Hippocratic oath of comedy, which very few do, and the people who make it are kind of pieces of shit or terribly uncreative.
Yes.
You know. So yeah, but I should be working harder.
Sure. And I will say
And you should be working at all. Although you are doing this, so yep, this does count. This does
it
count.
counts.
This
Okay.
counts.
And we should say, watch Jeffrey Asmus's special. Forget what we said earlier about Bobby's special. This is the first.
Yeah, let's plug Jeff,
canceling
the one
a
fucking
plug.
guy who doesn't need any fucking plug.
The person we just talked about how he's found his audience.
Yeah, you ought to
but-
check out Sam Morrill too. Check that guy out. He's a real, you may not have heard of him, but check him out. You'll love it.
Yeah. So no, watch Bobby's special. Bobby Condon, one of my favorites, and happy to have you. Let's start the show. Look at that.
Okay.
Let's start our podcast about the police with our weekly headline roundup. Here are some of the headlines involving the police here in America from the last week, starting with cop in Temple Terrace, Florida is arrested for fatally crashing into a 6-year-old girl while driving 100 miles per hour. The name of the child who has been killed has not yet been released.
ICE cops in Georgia have a man die in their custody and again claim it was a suicide. R.I.P. Denny Adan Gonzalez.
Jail cop in Tulsa, Oklahoma is arrested for punching a handcuffed inmate several times.
Jail cop in San Francisco is charged with brutally assaulting a handcuffed inmate.
Jail cops in Atlanta are facing a lawsuit for ignoring an inmate's pleas for his medication, causing a medical emergency which led to the amputation of his fingers and legs.
Cop in Honolulu is indicted for sexually assaulting a woman while on duty.
Cop in Park City, Illinois is arrested for sexual misconduct while on duty.
Cop in Leroy, Illinois is convicted of sexual assault.
Cop in Swifton, Arkansas is charged with sexually assaulting a minor.
Cop in Ogden, Utah is sentenced to only 30 days for raping a child.
A cop in Boston is arrested for raping and trafficking a 15-year-old boy.
2 cops in Meridian, Connecticut are fired after it is discovered they had sexual relationships with a troubled 14-year-old girl who joined a police youth program.
School cop in Sanford, Florida is charged with sexually abusing a high school student.
Jail cop in Ventnor, New Jersey is indicted for recording a cell phone video of a naked woman in a holding cell.
Cop in Atlanta is arrested for possession of child sex abuse material.
Cop in El Paso, Texas is on video repeatedly punching a woman in the face.
Cops in Detroit are facing a lawsuit for chasing people into their homes, forcing their way inside without warrants, using excessive force against residents, including a 2-year-old child, and then lying in order to file criminal charges against the victims.
Cops in Rochester, New York are on video pulling guns on a group of black people waiting outside for their Uber ride.
Cop in Odessa, Texas is arrested for domestic violence.
Cop in San Antonio, Texas is arrested for domestic violence.
Cop in Boston is charged with domestic violence.
Cops in LA kill a dog during a homeless encampment sweep.
Cop kills his own canine after it bites him.
Cop in Baton Rouge, who is known for taking part in an illegal makeshift interrogation facility and torture program, is now charged with domestic violence.
Cop in North Riverside, Illinois is filmed pulling a gun on a woman he falsely accused of a hit and run while he was off duty.
Cops in Greenwood, South Carolina are facing a lawsuit for jailing a man for 2 weeks after saying his IBS medication was actually pills containing fentanyl and cocaine. And honestly, who hasn't? That's a common mistake.
Yeah. Relatable content. Hello. Water cooler
Wow.
talk.
Oh, man. Illinois shows up 3 times.
Yeah.
Not
yeah.
bad. I am an Illinois resident. I figured, I shouldn't say resident. I'm not a resident, but,
You're an expert.
I am an expert of Illinois. And being that Ashton is a black Southern man, it's only fitting that a white Irish Catholic descendant of cops should be his replacement here.
Yeah.
I am a white Irish Catholic with roots in the South Side of Chicago, and a lot of my uncles are cops, and you should hear the language at some of the family parties. Wow.
Well, that's the
this
real.
is just last week.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go on.
Just last week. Yeah.
Wow.
I was just telling Bobby that like whenever I was planning to do this podcast, people were just had a lot of skepticism about how much news stories there could possibly be about the police, and those are the stories we're not covering. Those are just you feel free to look those up, but
Jesus Christ.
it's a lot. It's every week. It's a constant onslaught of here's a statistic I love bringing up. Police kill 1,100 Americans a year on average. 1,100. So
1,100.
So that's about 3 to 4 a day. So there was more people killed by the police this week than were included in these headlines. But, the next runner-up, when we compare this statistic to other, like, comparable, like, democracies, like, same level of, like, development, would be Canada. It's about, like, 30 a year.
Wow.
Right? So it goes 1,100 and then drops second place to, like, 30.
Canada's second place?
Canada's second place.
In that regard?
Yep.
Wow. And it goes from 1,100 to 30.
Yeah. And then British is like 2, and then there's like a bunch of countries that is like Japan or Sweden that is 0.
Well, nothing really to look into there, I don't think. It's just the way it is, and all good. All good.
Yeah.
Wow. That's fucking remarkable. Yeah, I did ask Jeff, I'm like, so is this a monthly show or weekly? He's like, weekly. I'm like, really? Just about cop stuff every week? And wow.
Yeah. So thankfully, as much terrible shit they do every week, there is so much news that they at least do some funny stuff that we get to have somewhat of a comedic podcast to sort of soften this horror. And another great segue, we got a Patreon. We got enough to do a little bonus episode. So I'm just going to plug the Patreon real quick. If you join today, me and Bobby will be here for the Patreon as well. We'll be talking about the city of Atlanta fighting back against Flock taking over their city. If you listen to the podcast, you probably know about these new Flock cameras. After it was revealed that they were accessing cameras that were recording children in youth groups and a bunch of other stuff, and we'll be talking about the Supreme Court taking on another brand new method of police surveillance, geofencing. But before we move on to our main stories of this week's episode, is our update section. This is Bobby. We just a lot of these stories, all these stories are ongoing in different ways. So we'll do like little updates to stories we've previously covered. This is a great Bobby story. It's about Chicago, and the headline is: we're 4 months into the year. Chicago has spent at least $175 million to resolve police misconduct lawsuits. So this is an ongoing story because Chicago, it's really 2 cops. There's these 2 cops most of these things happened like in the 90s that Chicago police were terrorizing all these black neighborhoods and grabbing innocent black men and very intentionally framing them for a variety of crimes, and it involved throwing them into an interrogation room, beating them up, essentially torturing them.
Kind of our thing.
Kind of y'all's thing, to get a false confession. And now that we're looking at these 2 cops and their units and what they were doing, all these black men are being exonerated left and right, being freed out of Chicago, which, it's better than nothing. But there are police settlement lawsuits, and they are going into the hundreds of millions of dollars. The city of Chicago is not ready to afford this. And, of course, it's coming out of the taxpayer dollar.
Yeah. And so these are guys that have been imprisoned since the 90s in some cases.
Yes.
So so
decades.
It's a lot of money to pay to undo that. Not that could be undone, but wow, 175 million to resolve. That's only 4 months into the year.
Yeah.
Jesus
So
fucking Christ.
let me read a little bit here. It says $175.6 million to resolve approximately 200 lawsuits, alleging Chicago police officers committed a wide range of misconduct. The latest massive settlement, unanimously approved Wednesday by the city council, will pay $9.5 million to Carl Reed, who spent 19 years in prison after he was wrongfully convicted of murdering a man in a Northside assisted living facility. Taxpayers paid an additional $483,000 to defend the police officers who sent Reed to prison. So that's another part of this, is that the bill would not be so high, the burden would not be so heavy on the taxpayers if the city would not fight each one in court.
Yeah.
But they refuse. They're insisting on fighting each one. They know now. We all know now these cops are fucking lunatics, and the city was like, "No, you're not gonna get it from us that easy."
It's kind of the catch-22 because the alternative is they have to admit, all right, we've been terrorizing black people. We've been doing it. I'm sorry. And you know what this reminds me of? Okay, not to diminish this because, of course, this is much more important, but it reminds me of a little situation in my own life where I found out that motherfucking Netflix was double charging me.
Oh, my God.
Going back to July, okay? I paid through one, and look, I'm a fucking idiot. I signed up for it twice. What can I say? But it all goes to the same email, right? And so I did one through PayPal and one directly through my credit card, but it's the same email address. So I went to cancel my Netflix, and then I looked and found out that they had been double charging me for 7 months. And I called Netflix, and I'm like, I need to be reimbursed for this. And they're like, well, we can only do 1 month. So we can reimburse you for 1 month. You'll have to talk to your bank to get reimbursed for the other 6 charges. And it's like, bro, you're the ones that have stolen the money. Yeah. And now you're directing me to the bank to go fix it. And it's like, I hate to defend Chase Manhattan Bank and be like, Chase Manhattan Bank didn't hurt me. It was you. Yeah. But this is the same fucking shit. It's like, we've done the thing. And rather than us, the Chicago Police Department, pay, the taxpayer has to pay us. And not only that, but we as a city are going to fight each and every one because we can't admit that we're actually bad. So it's the worst of both worlds.
Yeah. We should honestly do a podcast about Netflix using people's email accounts twice charging the same email account. That is absurd.
It's ludicrous. Yeah, absolutely ludicrous. But and it is like, I don't want to this thing, and I don't think this is unique to Chicago. Certainly, I mean, police brutality, as we've just seen and through a year of this podcast has shown, it's rife everywhere. But it is like, in Chicago, I can definitely tell you from the south side of Chicago, it's like you go there, you go to a party where cops are there, you listen to them talk. None of this is surprising.
Yeah,
this is how they feel.
Yeah,
and like dude, it took the Laquan McDonald thing for regular people to even look at the violence of Chicago cops. And the Laquan McDonald thing was something that was so absolutely in bold face. It was so undeniable. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the video of it, and you can almost hear the cop saying the N-word as he's shooting him 14 fucking times. Holy but it's shit. Like it took that for us to even look at it.
Yeah.
It's a travesty.
It is. Yeah. And like you said, I mean, I think you're totally right. Like, this isn't unique to Chicago, but right now
we just perfected it.
Yeah, you're just goated. But right now, what is unique is that these 2 individual cops are costing hundreds of millions of dollars to the taxpayers. Could have gone to so many other things. And guess what? Cherry on top, these 2 cops are not in jail. They are still collecting their pensions, actually.
Wow, isn't that nice
after
gig?
200 lawsuits. That's 200 people that they stole their lives away from after torturing them.
Just these all roll up to 2 police officers?
I believe so. It might not. I might be. I'm probably exaggerating that all 200 of these lawsuits are these specific. But yeah, these 2 cops have like dozens and dozens each.
And they're still collecting their pensions and whatever money they've made on their side jobs. Chicago PD, it's a fucking good gig if you can get it. Yep. Jesus Christ.
Good gig.
Wow.
And then the next, this will just be quick because there's not much to say that I know about, except that it's not surprising. It is infuriating, but we all know the death of Renee Good in Minneapolis. The ICE officer who killed Renee Good apparently has moved to a different state to continue working at ICE.
Wow.
Yeah, no.
He didn't get fired for ICE?
He didn't get fired.
I mean, not that I would
He's just
think-
been relocated.
Wow. So it's like the Catholic priest sort of thing.
It is.
I mean, I know that ICE isn't exactly, like a model of good self-government, but boy, you'd think if you fatally kill someone and it was clear that she wasn't putting you in any harm, you'd at least get fired from the job.
Yeah.
Like he didn't. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
And I couldn't find which
look
state.
forward to seeing him in the news again soon.
Yeah, that brings me to my point, which I couldn't find which state he's in. So you don't even that's kind of terrifying.
Wow.
Yeah,
you'll never.
know.
Yo,
We
watch
don't
out,
even-
immigrants. You might run into Jonathan Ross.
Jonathan Ross.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Wow.
So let's those are our updates. Let's start with our first main story. We're here at our current home, New York City, reading from our favorite publication, the New York Post. Ex-Long Island cop James Burke, in beatdown scandal, denies lewd act because he likes women, not men. I mean, they're the king of headlines. They're the king of journalism.
They are. And I mean, that really says all you need to say. Let's go on to the next story. That guy likes men. What can he do? We got it.
He doesn't like
we
me.
know
He's
all
not
we need to
gay.
know.
Don't say that. That's his attorney. Like, whoa, hey,
Whoa,
pause,
cool
pause. I would like to evoke the pause. Okay. So a controversial ex-Long Island police chief accused of exposing himself to a male park ranger could not have done the lewd act because, quote, his interest lies towards the female, his attorney.
Okay, that is the
claimed.
gayest thing I've ever heard in my life. That is a gay man describing what he thinks. My interest lies toward the female, thank you very much.
Yeah. He's like, oh, behave. My interest lies towards the female. That was his attorney. That was his southern Louisiana attorney, apparently. Former Suffolk County, Long Island police chief James Burke, who was once convicted of beating up a man who stole his porn stash and is blamed by critics for botching the Gilgo Beach murders investigations, will have his charges of indecent exposure and public lewdness dismissed if he stays out of trouble over the next 6 months, court records show. Might have been the craziest set of words I've ever said out loud.
You stay out of trouble, you. And it's all fine, but just no more exposing yourself, please.
He's this storied history, apparently, of this police chief. We've talked about him before on the podcast, police chief James Burke. He got convicted of assaulting a guy who stole his porn stash and is blamed for not doing a good job with a serial killer in Long Island. Right now, he's dealing with this exposing himself
He's got
in the
bigger
park.
fish to fry now.
Yeah, you're in the big leagues now. He was initially accused of flashing and masturbating in front of a plainclothes ranger at Vietnam
What the fuck?
Vietnam Veterans Memorial Park in Farmington on August 22, 2023.
Okay, can I ask one thing?
Yes.
Why are there plainclothes rangers at the Vietnam Veterans Memorial? Like, that sounds like a fucking entrapment gig job if I've ever heard of it. We know Burke's out there jerking off over the fucking Vietnam Vet War Memorial. We need to get some plainclothes park rangers
We
out
need to
there
get some
nab
fake
them.
mustaches and.
Wow. Okay.
So
The case fell apart.
yes, the case fell apart thanks to unspecified misconduct allegations against the ranger and two of his colleagues. So none of these cops can quite get it together enough for anyone to fucking get in trouble, apparently. The one time this police chief thought, I've finally gone a little bit too far. I might see the curtains closing, but the cops
Luckily,
also.
it was a crooked park ranger, too.
You know, we've covered enough park rangers on this podcast that it's changed. This podcast has changed me in a lot of ways, and that is one way. That ACAB includes park rangers as well.
Okay.
They're out there fucking with people as well.
Look at those guys. They're creeps. They're all fucking creeps, man.
They are. So his lawyer, James O'Rourke, told the podcast that Burke
Told the Post, not the damn podcast. We don't have that kind of connection. Jesus.
You're right. Look, I'm still exhausted. I ran eight stories to sit here and try to read and
That's
talk.
what I'm here for. I'm here to proof. I'm here to proof Jaffer.
Thank you, Bobby. His lawyer, James O'Rourke, told the Post that Burke continues to strongly deny the criminal case against him while noting the Rangers tied to the case had credibility issues. Quote, if anyone knows James Burke, and unfortunately, James Burke's life has in the past 10, 12 years been somewhat of an open book based upon the various charges.
That's what the lawyer said?
Look, we all know my client's kind of a douchebag. We're not saying he's not a douchebag.
If anyone knows James Burke, and listen, you know him. He's been in the paper for lots of bad shit.
Yeah. If anyone knows James Burke, it's a jury of his peers. Quote, he may be a lot of things. Again, how could you go through law school and come out of it saying he may be a lot of things? He may be a lot of things, but his interest lies towards the female, not the male.
The glove does not fit. You must acquit. Let my man go.
Actually, I take it back. This lawyer is amazing. I mean, look at what he's got to work with.
Oh, look
it's a tough gig.
This gets even better here.
Yes. Quote.
I'm reading ahead, sorry.
Quote, if it was a lady of the evening, oh my God.
A lady of the evening.
Again, he could have just said lady. He could have made it not criminal. Quote, if it was a lady of the evening, he might have been there with one would have pause about the credibility of his denial. But that's not the case here. He denies it vociferously.
What? Okay, let's parse out that sentence real quick. If it was a lady of the evening he might have been there with, one would have pause about the credibility of his denial. But that's not the case here. He denies it vociferously. So his lawyer is saying if he was there with a hooker, no offense, sex worker, of course.
Yes.
If he was there with a sex worker, one would have pause about the credibility of his denial. But that's not the case here. Now, I think if he was there with a sex worker, his denial of the indecent exposure toward a park ranger would have more weight because it's like, look, I was there with a fucking sex worker. Or am I misreading this?
Bobby, that's a fantastic point.
You know, like that would be
keep going with that.
That it's like if he's kind of admitting, like, all right, I was doing something I should have been doing out there, but I wasn't.
It could be like, you know how people are like, they get caught like peeing outside, and then they have to sign up on a sex registry because it was indecent. They're like, I was just peeing, dude. I was drunk. Come on, that's pretty much like this. Like he could use the same argument. Like, come on,
what the hell?
We thought we were hidden behind the bush. I wasn't trying to freak anyone out. That would be terrible of me.
And he's like, but that's not the case here. The case here is he denies it vociferously. That's your retort?
Yes.
This guy's an idiot.
And they keep going on the lady, like he's straight, he's not gay part, but it's like he's the thing that he's doing, like kind of transcends, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, sure.
Public masturbation ain't straight or gay.
Exactly.
It's public masturbation.
Yeah.
It is in a fucking league of its own.
Yeah. Well, you're saying he was out there publicly masturbating like some gay guy? Only a gay guy? That's the thing only gay guys do? What are you talking about, dude?
Oh, my God.
He did not read none of these arguments in a law book. I can promise you that. So, Judge Eric Sachs granted an adjournment in contemplation of dismissal in court Wednesday after prosecutors said they could not go forward with the case. Rangers involved in the arrest are facing misconduct allegations and have all since left their positions.
Wow.
The district attorney's office said. I mean, how lucky is he that he is surrounded by insane police officers in New York, apparently?
No shit. And also, I think this just goes to show you don't fuck with the New York Police Department. What happened, this guy got caught doing something obviously fucked up, and every single park ranger they have dug up dirt on and have made them resign their posts. Probably because of this.
Yes, you're totally correct, Bobby. Because remember, this guy's a former police chief.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's a chief, too. I forgot that. So he just pulled all the levers.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. It's funny they don't mention what
They don't, because they in the article, they say we don't know what the misconduct is.
And that, for the New York Post, is shocking.
Yeah.
That they would not have access to that information. They can file a fucking FOIA on that.
Exactly.
Come on, dude. That's so great. Okay,
dude, this is amazing. No, you are truly putting this story together, filling in the canyon-sized gaps left by New York Post analysis on the police.
Jesus Christ, I need to be proofing those motherfuckers too.
Okay, quote, based upon, and I think, this is still the spokesperson for the DA. Based upon disclosures required by New York state law of alleged misconduct, it was determined that the people could not meet the burden at trial.
Wow.
The DA's office called the disposition appropriate. Thank you. Well, if the DA's office has, we've got their stamp of approval. Burke has a scandalous and criminal past after he was once powerful law enforcement official. He failed to reach meaningful progress in the early stages of the Gilgo Beach serial killer probe, cutting off FBI assistance during his tenure as chief between 2012 and 2015.
Oh, that's a smart move. Yeah, don't get the FBI's help on the serial killer investigation in your community.
Yes, no, and I'm glad you brought that up because I'm going to fill in some more giant gaps left here by the New York Post. So what that was yes. There was a, fucking serial killer on the loose in New York. Classic time for cops to shine, right?
And really let go of any of those interdepartmental feuds or whatever. Time to work together.
Exactly. So, but the thing was, yes, he was strangely not allowing the FBI, with all their resources and technology, to have any part in this whole thing. And it wasn't, you might think he's like, oh, classic like movie, like, get the feds out of here. This is our boy. Our boys got this. Yeah. You might think it was that, except for the fact that he was being investigated by the FBI because he had brutally assaulted a man who apparently stole porn and dildos from his car.
This was the porn stash guy. My God.
It's all one guy, believe it or not. All this legendary career he's had. But yes, once he was finally convicted for beating up the guy who stole his porn and had to back away from this investigation, the FBI did get involved and they figured out who did it, and the guy's in jail now.
Wow. Holy shit. I'm trying to look up to see if there was any additional murders in the time that they were prevented from investigating this. That is wow.
Right?
This guy's a piece of work. Holy shit.
Yeah, he gets Bobby Condon's Piece of Work Award.
That is a rare.
Play the sound, Quincy.
You don't meet too many POWs, man, and this guy is one of them. Holy shit.
So, Massapequa Park, father of two, Rex Heuermann, was captured in 2023 after the probe was kicked into high gear that year and the same year that Burke was out of office. I'm sorry, New York Post really needs a proofreader. This is just copied and pasted. Heuermann, an ogre-like Manhattan architect.
He really is, too. You've seen him, right?
I have it.
He's like 6'8".
So you know this story.
Oh, I'm all about this story. I'm a big serial killer fan. I like the stories, but Rex Heuermann is this hulking 6'8", like just really big dude who's an architect.
It's terrifying. I'm imagining like the No Country for Old Men type,
dude,
fear level. Like
you gotta see a
killer.
picture of this guy when he got his sentencing, because he also has like a crazy skater cut.
Holy shit!
So that's the dude.
Yeah.
And he was married with 2 children, and was every time his wife and daughters went on vacation, he would kill a sex worker in his basement. And it's an interesting. I don't remember all the details of it, but because these women were sex workers, so a lot of them had drug addiction. A lot of they hung out, with rough groups and whatever
on the margins of society.
That's a very good way of putting it. And some of these people, like this guy, came to a house where they were all hanging out, and one of the eventual victims to try to retrieve her from the house. And the people in the house fought him off, and they actually told the cops and described this guy, but because they were people from the margins of society, nobody followed up on it. Nobody did anything. That woman ended up dead, of course. And evidently there's all these clues. Because that was the victim, and that's what serial killers thrive on, is killing people who people don't follow up on. This guy was able to, thrive as a serial killer for what, like 25 fucking years or something like that.
Holy shit.
Wow. And it's like, not to
and who would have thought this whole time this was a factor involved? Is this fucking freaky ass cop?
A chief's porn stash.
Yeah.
A fucking police chief's porn stash. And keeping the goddamn FBI out of the case. It's like the FBI is... There's Netflix series, but fuck Netflix, about how these guys are the experts in the fucking shit.
Yeah.
Massapequa doesn't have serial killers all the time.
Yeah.
You know who does? The United States of America. The fucking FBI is the motherfuckers. Oh my God. Okay, continue.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I mean it's so
Insane.
funny because now, so he couldn't stop the serial killer because of his porn stash essentially. Now he's caught masturbating outside of a park, like such like obvious like, okay, yeah, this guy did it, like you know what I mean? Oh, the porn guy, the violent dildo porn cop, and his lawyer's like, y'all know he's not gay, right? Anyways, I'm sorry, I just can't get over this shit.
Incredible.
So
Incredible.
Burke also served a federal prison stint for roughing up a man who stole a stash of porn and a sex toy from his official police vehicle in 2012, and then attempting to cover his tracks. So again, the cover-up
The cover-up's always a thing that gets you in trouble, man.
Yeah, it is.
Ask Richard Nixon.
Yeah, and get, it was like a reason to keep the FBI out of this serial killer investigation. He lost his police-issued service weapon twice while he was engaged in a sexual relationship with a woman who was a convicted felon. This was a sex worker that he was in a relationship with. This guy was like...
Love to know the details behind that. Like, in what capacity did he lose his service weapon in the context of this relationship?
Well, I think he was just
caught
doing a crime.
It was removed. Oh, I see. He didn't. I'm thinking, I'm like, where did he lose it? In a fucking car or something? But you mean they like, all right, you're fucking a sex worker again. Badge and gun, Burke. One more time. Like what? Although he's the chief, so who's demanding the badge and gun?
They were like, just gun. Keep your badge. You're still our boss. I mean, we love you. We will follow you to the ends of the earth. But we got to take your gun. But you know what? You bring up a good point. Maybe he did literally just in the heat of the moment,
like a bumbling cop sort of thing. Yeah. He's just so fucking horned up that he's like, oh no.
Yeah. Apparently, he was going to big like drug sex worker parties. That was a thing he would frequent. Couldn't get him to stop. Had to take his gun away twice, or lost it twice. I mean, that very well could be. So, let's see. Back to the article. He was also accused. Here we go. He was also accused in 2016 of attending sex parties with drugs and prostitution, said lawyer John Ray, who was representing a Gilgo Beach victim and prostitute. At the time, a lawyer for Burke reportedly said the claims did not warrant a reply. O'Rourke, Burke's legal rep, said his client was, quote, delighted the criminal case would soon be behind him. Quote, there is no reason why the ultimate dismissal will not be granted, and he will begin to hopefully enjoy his retirement without any cloud over his head.
Oh, I think there will be a cloud or two.
Yeah, I think there
Wow.
will be a sulfuric cloud permanently over his head for the rest of his life. Although this does seem to be a guy who really like lives in the moment, and he probably will he won't be perceiving any cloud. He'll be enjoying his life.
That's true. I can see he's got a good compartmentalization thing happening in his head.
Exactly.
Now I got to ask this: how many people that you grew up with do you know of that became police officers? Two. And Quincy, how about you? Okay, we're not going to implicate your cousin here. Anyone you went to high school with or something? Can you think of any? Okay, those guys, I can picture too. I could see both of my guys getting mixed up in something like this. This is like so often, right?
Yeah.
This is the demographic this job draws.
Yeah.
You know,
no, totally. And I think especially going back to Chicago, Chicago, because I will say the two friends I had in high school, because I was friends with them, I liked them. They were like nice, cool, normal guys, and they were both Hispanic. You know, growing up in Houston, they would be. I would have guessed.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, but you know, I like bringing that up because it is like when. One of the messages, if you will, of this pod would be that, like, you know, people get so hung up, like, when you're anti-police, they go into this. So all cops, you really believe that? You really think every single person who's a cop is a piece of shit, bad person? And I'm like, no, probably not. Like, no, definitely no. Yeah,
what, are you 3 years old?
Exactly.
You know, like,
the point is that it's the systems in play that need to be like they're the systems that are beyond reform that need like serious change. Like the two friends that I had that became cops, they were cool, nice people. But I would imagine, I don't have to know, I would imagine that some of the work they've had to do has not really been overall beneficial for the problems we have in society. Just throwing our problems in jail, throwing our cops at them is
there's a degree of ambivalence in the work, no matter how good of a person you are. And it's like I can think of one guy I went to high school with who became a cop, and he's a good guy. So I'm sure he's sacrificed some of his morals from here and there. But I can think of like two people in particular who were like total maladjusted, loner type weirdos that were drawn to the unmitigated power. Yeah. Like, and I think this is overly simplistic and reductive and cliche, but I do think in at least one of those cases, I was unpopular, I was made fun of, I will show them.
Yeah.
Like I think that is a pretty common, or maybe not pretty common, a not uncommon reasoning for getting into this line of work.
It should be a stereotype of a cop.
Yes.
Let's get over the donut thing.
Yes, right.
That's actually great PR for cops.
Yeah, the donuts are fine. That's humanizing the cop.
Exactly.
They don't like a goddamn donut.
Exactly. It should be that they're all sexual deviant losers.
Yes. Fucking power.
That's a better stereotype.
Yes, Machiavellian deviant sex criminals.
Yeah, exactly. So let's round out this. The last sentence of the article. Burke's next court date is set for October 20th. So remember, his whole deal is if you cannot, you know, if you could not be a weirdo in 6 months, you're good to go. But he's not out of the woods yet. So you got to get it together, bro.
Yeah.
You got to be on your best behavior.
Clean it up, Burke. All right? Get it together, pal.
All right. Well, that was fun. Now, unfortunately, we got to move to our next story. Bobby, you'll be reading this one.
Okay.
This is
You're checking in from Miami.
Yes, reading from the Miami Herald.
So, from the Miami Herald, state drops charges against Miami woman who watched police officer kill her son. Good Lord. Okay. Gamali Hollis, who served nearly a year in jail for violating a judge's order to stay away from the Miami-Dade police officer who shot and killed her son, has been cleared of lingering charges that could have sent her back to jail. Miami-Dade prosecutors dismissed 2 stalking and resisting arrest charges against Hollis on Thursday. Hollis was found guilty of violating a restraining order in 2023 because she posted messages on Facebook calling the officer a murderer.
Yeah, so let's pause real quick.
Yeah.
This is insane, right? Just you're kind of like, what are we reading right now?
Is that a jurisdiction? Facebook?
Yeah. It is insane. And this is true. Like the cops killed her son and she went to jail over it. She ended up going to jail, spent a year in jail. She's just been released. So hopefully this is the end of a very absurd saga. But yes, cops killed her son. The cop did not go to jail. She ended up in jail over this.
Wow.
So that's what we're dealing with.
And ended up in jail for... Is the jail sentence due to the violation of restraining order, which was the Facebook post?
Yes. So we'll get more into it in a second.
Good Lord. The government, this is a quote here. The government made the right decision by dismissing the pending case against Ms. Hollis. Said the Miami-Dade public defender Carlos Martinez. The investigation into her case laid bare a system that is broken, a system that fails to approach those with mental illness with the compassion and understanding they deserve. End quote. Although she's relieved the charges were dropped, Hollis said she will never feel fully vindicated. Quote, I lost my son and he was my life, she said. Quote, the police were called to help my son, not kill him. I am disappointed that we don't have a justice system. We have an injustice system. And we don't have police we can trust. We have police we're afraid of because they can do whatever they want with no consequences, end quote. Hollis, 53, saw her only child, 21-year-old Richard Hollis, shot 5 times in the kitchen of her small West Kendall apartment by Officer Jaime Pino in June 2022. Richard, who had cycled through ineffective mental health care for years, was in the throes of a psychotic break, insisting he was not mentally ill while wielding a steak knife and shrieking about strangers poisoning his food.
Okay, so I searched and I couldn't find the body camera footage here. Apparently, it does exist. It was played in court, but I couldn't find it online. But because they always say someone will have a knife, and the cops will always say they charged, and then you look at the body cam, and it is usually, at the very least, extremely questionable whether or not this person was charging. Maybe they made a movement towards them, and the cops who are like several feet away, a couple of them have like tasers, but instead it'll be like a hail of bullets. So the cops said they lunged. The the family of the victim said that he was not lunging at them and they were not in any danger. But regardless, it's a kid with a knife versus a bunch of people who should be able, if they're professionals and have the weaponry that's less than lethal, be able to disarm this 21-year-old man. Now, so here's what led up to this. So her son is schizophrenic, and this was not only had the cops been called to this apartment many, many times before, the cop who killed this 21-year-old kid had been there several times before and knew them. So, these cops are, in my opinion, have no business dealing with like the difficulties of mental health issues. And so literally the last time, and this is on body camera that is public, you can watch this. The last time before he was killed, he was at this apartment. He was so angry at the family that he told the mother, do not ever call us again. Like, I don't want to ever deal with this shit. If I'm back here and that kid so much as raises a BB gun towards me, I'm going to fucking kill him.
That's what he said on the body cam.
He said that to her. He threatened to kill her son on fucking tape. And not that it matters, but when she did never call the cops again. Like, when they were over there, she did not call the cops. The neighbors called the police because of what they were hearing.
Okay. Jesus.
So yeah, that is what led to his death. So yeah, we could continue.
Well, and this, I mean, speaks to obviously like these people, the people that are the police officers are hardly in a capacity to fight crime, much less de-escalates, they're escalators.
They are.
You know, like, and that's what happens here so often is de-escalation has become a word in the police force, in the last like 10 years.
Yeah.
And they ostensibly should be trained in de-escalation or de-escalation. And it's like, how do multiple police officers show up at a domestic disturbance like this where someone has a knife, and how is a weapon with bullets the first option?
Yeah.
And 5 shots. Like, this is the thing. I hate to bring it back to the Laquan McDonald thing, but that was the whole, he had a knife and they shot him 14 times from fucking 12 feet away.
Yeah.
You know, so it is the he charged, blah, blah, blah. It's like, but not to laugh because of course it's not funny, but the fucking cop said he was going to do this the last time. It's on tape that he said he was going to do it. How is there no punishment for that?
Exactly.
Okay. So we'll continue.
And I'll say, last thing I'll say before we move on is, I think you made a great point about they're trained in escalation. They are trained in escalation. Like you can go look at police training materials. It is all about the dangers, the threats.
Yes.
It's all about the violent threats. Like they get mushed into their brains that the public is dangerous and out to get them. And when you are out there dealing with the public, they're supposed to serve and protect. You actually always are in danger of being killed by them.
It's
so
combat.
you have to kill them first. Like literally, you could see police training videos where in the training they killed a person.
Yeah.
In the training, they killed a person before they kill them, and they say, "Good job, you killed them. You did a good job as a cop." Meanwhile, the statistic is 4%. Cops spend 4% of their time on the job dealing with violent crime. 4%.
Wow.
But if you look at their training, you would think it would be 100% of the time.
Yep, and they approach it with combat mentality, and it's the same thing, like we saw with the Alex Preddy thing and Laquan McDonald, and time again, is that they have it mushed in their brain. Once you shoot, continue shooting until they are dead. You keep going. If they're incapacitated, and you've seen this on videos. I mean, it's like fucking morbid, but you've seen it on videos. An inert, lifeless body with pops still going on around it because that is how
that was Alex Preddy.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I mean, like they sat there and shot at the fucking guy for a minute afterwards. Okay, 2 months after Richard's death, Hollis recognized Pino when she was driving down a Kendall Street and saw him at a scene where police had arrested and handcuffed a young man for a traffic infraction. She rolled down her window and told Pino, "You killed my son." "I did. You killed my son." He replied, "I did. I'm sorry." Pino, who was back on duty after the state's attorney office ruled he did not use excessive force against Richard. Quote, "Maybe if you did a better job, there wouldn't be a problem. Goodbye," end quote. Yikes. How much nicer would that conversation have been if he just ended at the "I'm sorry" part?
Yeah.
As she backed out, another officer told her to steer clear of Pino, who said, quote, "Let her hit me with the car so I can shoot her."
Right?
End quote.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Unfucking believable.
When Hollis reappeared minutes later, driving in the opposite direction, a group of officers pulled her out of her car, tased her, and pinned her to the ground while handcuffing her as she cried out, "I'm driving to my home."
So this is the root of the initial stalking charges, that the cops were under some impression because she came back, again, the opposite way. You know how when you drive somewhere and then you go back home, you go the opposite way?
Usually goes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Instead, they're so fucking paranoid and psycho, they assume that, this lady is stalking us. Let's violently pull her out of her car, tase her, and handcuff her.
Wow. And if that quote, "Let her hit me with the car so I can shoot her," if that doesn't just say it all, I mean, that says everything you need to know.
Yeah.
Hollis then began posting occasional pictures of Pino from her Facebook page.
From his Facebook.
Hollis, wait, I thought this was the mother.
It is, yeah. Hollis then began posting occasional pictures of Pino.
Pictures from his, gotcha.
Yes.
Hollis then began posting occasional pictures of Pino from his Facebook page onto her own Facebook page, despite a judge's order to cease. Why a judge is getting involved in that? Who fucking knows? It's fucking Facebook.
Exactly. And I think it is relevant like that it's pictures from his Facebook page because, again, how is this stalking?
Yeah.
How is this stalking?
Public, if she can see him, they're either friends or it's public. So
yeah, and I doubt they're Facebook friends.
You can only post from someone else's Facebook page if you're a Russian bot, evidently, or a Russian spy. She accused Pino of murdering her son. She and her attorney from the public defender's office argued that Hollis was warning the community about police misconduct, and she never threatened Pino. And honestly, I'm going to take a step back here. It doesn't even need to be in the service of warning the community. It could just be, this motherfucker killed my son.
Yeah.
And if there doesn't need to be a productive reason that she does it. It could be out of rage and anger.
Yeah.
That's her fucking right.
Yep.
During a July 31st, 2023 jury trial, prosecutors argued Pino was rightly concerned that Hollis was a threat to him and his family and chastised Hollis for not being grateful to Pino for putting his life on the line to save hers. Ooh, that must have taken some balls to say that. The state said Hollis was wrong for harboring bitterness toward him. Again,
Harboring, what is the state? What is the state getting involved to make a statement about harboring bitterness?
Yeah.
That is not the state's business at all, what emotions I'm harboring.
yeah. Convicted of violating the stay away order, she was sentenced to 364 days in jail.
Yep.
Wow.
Insane, right? So,
See, this is why, and no offense, because I know you're from Texas, we should have just let them win the Civil War. Or, like, maybe not let them win. We should have won. And then you have two options after this. You either win and you destroy their culture, okay, which we didn't do, or you win or you lose and let them go away.
Yeah.
Let them do their own fucking thing.
Yeah.
Why do we have to hold their hands into modernity? Not that
yes.
Not that the North is much better, but
Texas to this day should still be in an Israeli-style occupation of the North, apartheid, until they can figure it out.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Oh,
we should have. The
man,
Union should have never
wow.
pulled out their troops.
That is truly horrific.
That
This-
was I think so she is finally free from jail for posting Facebook. Like that's what that's a timeline of how she ended up in jail for stalking. It was the initially she happened to drive by them once and then
Like,
just
by the way,
drove back.
you killed my son.
Yeah.
Have a nice day.
And then drove back home and then got assaulted for it. Then they looked at her Facebook and they were like, oh, look at all she's posting about him. This is stalking.
Yeah.
So you cannot encounter this guy and you cannot post about him again. She posts about him again. Jail.
And it's like, dude, you know, like how should I put it? Like if the state murders your child, the state cannot then expect you to be a good fucking sport about it for the rest of your life. Like it's like she I mean, in you know, black and white, didn't do anything wrong. But it's also like even the fact that her lawyer feels the need to be like, well, she's doing this to warn the community. It's like, no, like it's not incumbent on the independent citizen to behave the right way.
Yeah.
And it's also like, why is the state not saying, you know, okay, we've defended you, blah, blah, blah. And, but you made that remark about wanting her to hit you so that you could shoot her. Well, that's conduct unbecoming of a servant of the state. So you're like censured or fired or, you know, there's some sort of penalty to that. Like where's
You must be harboring bitterness.
Yeah.
How is that a fucking thing?
Bitterness.
Who is harboring? If that's a thing, if that's an enforceable thing, who is harboring bitterness?
Yeah. Like, Jesus Christ. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But hopefully this is the end of this fucking terrible saga that I cannot imagine going through. This woman having her son killed and then going to jail over it for a year.
Going to jail for being mad about it.
Yes. Wow. So obviously, you know, wish her the best. Goddamn. But we're now going to move to our next story. We're going to New Orleans, reading from Fox 8 Live. NOP, New Orleans Police Overtime Investigation finds more sergeants at home while on the clock.
Boy.
Yeah.
I work in human resources in my day job. I've been doing a lot of these investigations myself.
Bobby's fuming right now. You thought Bobby was mad last story?
Yeah.
No way.
No. Time theft is what really gets me.
New questions are emerging in Fox 8's NOPD overtime investigation after cameras found two high-paid sergeants at home while timesheets showed they were on the clock for regular shifts. Months after NOPD added biometric time clocks following a Fox 8 investigation into unchecked overtime. And by the way, I'm gonna shout out. This is our second time bringing up this story because this fucking crew at Fox 8, they're doing some real journalism down there. They set up hidden cameras themselves to catch these sergeants lying about where they were.
Let's go, Fox 8.
Yeah. So
rake that muck.
Yeah, exactly. Get in there. Months after the NOPD added biometric time clocks following a Fox 8 investigation into unchecked overtime, the latest findings raise questions about whether the department's reforms go far enough because NOPD Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick said the biometric system is not required for regular shifts. I mean, this is how fucking impossible it is to get cops to even begin to stop doing fucking anything. Like this compared to the rest of our general stories on this podcast, this is almost like a heartwarming story. The fact that they're just stealing time. Like it's somewhat relatable even, like it sucks because it's taxpayer dollars, like it's our dollars they're stealing. But even with this whole investigation, this is the best they could do. Biometric system for clocking in, but not required for regular shifts.
Not the regular shifts.
So
makes no sense.
It does make no sense. The latest findings follow a Fox 8 investigation that previously found Sergeant Henry Burke.
More Burks.
Another Burke. What the fuck is going on with these goddamn Burks? We should do a travel ban, a Burke travel ban, until we figure out what's going on with all these goddamn Burks. I'm running for office. Okay. Found Sergeant Henry Burke and Officer Brandon Coleman at home while their timesheets showed they were working. Burke later was arrested on 4 counts of public payroll fraud and 6 counts of injuring public records.
That's the only thing you can get these cops in trouble for injuring is public records.
Exactly. Yeah. They were like, that family had to make a split-second decision, but you were at home for hours, bro, to think about the shit you were doing.
That is first-degree injuring public records.
Fox 8 also found thousands of edits tied to the officers' timesheets, including more than 900 actions on Burke's timesheet under another sergeant's user ID and more than 1,600 actions on Coleman's timesheet under another sergeant's user ID. This is how they were not even trying to cover up their tracks.
Yeah.
They were just having their friend log in and somehow clock in under their ID. I don't even know how the fuck
Or they got their sergeant's user ID. These sergeants, their user ID is first initial, last name, and their password is probably their fucking daughter's first name and birthday. Yeah. Like that's got to be the easiest password to find out is a cop sergeant's fucking password.
Yeah. Now, Fox 8 has found similar concerns involving Sergeant Bianca Boone and Sergeant Renee Benjamin.
A couple ladies getting involved. Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah, finally. Records show the NOPD paid 727 officers 6 figures in 2025, making up at least 71% of the force. Of those officers, 226 made at least $150K, and at least 50 were paid more than $200,000 by the department. And it's about to tell you how much that really is. Records show many of the department's highest paid officers logged long hours, took few days off, and more than doubled their base salaries. Wow. So they are doubling, tripling their salaries with this overtime. Boone was paid $239,000 in 2025, nearly tripling her base pay of $83,000. Timesheets show Boone logged more than 4,200 hours between scheduled shifts, overtime, and details. That averages out to more than 11.5 hours a day every day of the year. So not every work day, every single day of the year.
Bianca, you gotta make it more believable, man. Good Lord.
Yeah, it's like those kids. Like if you cheat on a test, get like 3 or 4 wrong.
You gotta get 3 or 4 wrong.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Bianca's pictures online here, and she's quite beautiful. That's why she gets away with it, man.
For so long.
It's a tale as old as time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fox 8 then reviewed whether officers' time cards accurately reflected whether they were at work during regular shifts. In March, a Fox 8 undercover camera found multiple instances in which Boone and Benjamin were clocked in for their regularly scheduled shifts but were still at home. On March 3rd, 5th, 8th, and 9th, Boone's timesheets show she was clocked in for her scheduled shift at 6:25 a.m. On all 4 days, Fox 8's camera recorded her leaving home after she was on the clock. Man, these cops must fucking hate Fox 8. Fox 8's on their asses.
Oh, they've got to really have a sort of philosophical conundrum there too, because they support Fox's politics, of course.
Sure, yeah.
And yet they're fucking them on their time card fraud.
Yeah.
Boy.
On March 8th, video shows Boone leaving her home in uniform at 9:39 a.m., more than 3 hours after her timesheet showed that she was clocked in. The next day, video showed her walk into her car in uniform around 8:30 a.m., more than 2 hours after records show NOPD was paying her. And these are the taxpayers, folks. Taxpayers, folks. After Fox 8's unchecked overtime investigation in November, Kirkpatrick, as the superintendent, implemented biometric time clocks for unscheduled overtime shifts.
Dumbest
Why?
shit I've ever heard in
Why?
my entire life.
Why that specific? This is pathetic.
That is insane. Only for unscheduled overtime shifts,
Yes.
too.
But she said officers would not be required to use the biometric system to verify they were at work during normal shifts. This has got to be the union in effect.
Yes.
We can learn a lot from the police unions. Quote, with regular time, that is, an officer comes in to a roll call, Kirkpatrick said during an interview earlier this year. And so at that roll call, they have accountability right there because the sergeant is going to know you're here to work today. Oh, turns out the sergeants are the ones lying. Wow. Who could have imagined it goes so high?
And usually, the majority of time theft doesn't, there's a whole second half to that. They don't have end roll call. They don't all come back into the office when they're done for the day. They go home. That doesn't do anything.
I've never had more of an expert on this podcast than this moment. I knew I could bring in your Chicago Irish
It's as
Catholic.
leaky as a sieve. I've poked every hole in it already.
But Bobby's HR mind is running at top speed right now.
Oh, God.
Quote, the issue came up mainly with the overtime. She's still trying to explain herself. With the overtime of the detail assignments, because those are where, particularly details, the officer is not coming in and signing in at a desk in front of the supervisor, Kirkpatrick said. Mm-hmm. And this is where the gap occurred. And this is where we have been able to put some systems into play to tighten that up. But records show Boone and Benjamin raised red flags before. Gallagher filed a formal complaint about Boone 3 years ago, triggering a Public Integrity Bureau investigation. That investigation concluded Boone committed multiple policy violations related to her timesheets. Quote, she got a letter of reprimand for years of really significant payroll violations, Gallagher said. And now what you found is she's at it again. That August 2024 letter of reprimand was signed by Kirkpatrick. It stated, this is amazing. It stated that any future violations of a similar nature may result in more severe disciplinary action.
More severe disciplinary action, not termination. This is okay, again, not to be an HR bitch here. Time theft is a terminable offense. Judge, jury, and executioner. If you get found out,
which you are,
which I am the motherfucking judge, jury, and executioner. And if you are found that you are stealing time, I've worked at a number of places in an HR capacity. You are terminated. There's no severe action. There's no write-up. There's no nothing. You
There's
are
no
terminated.
letter of reprimand.
There is no letter of reprimand. And also in every like disciplinary action, the language is always, and again, this is across the board. It's any future violation of similar nature may result in more severe disciplinary action up to and including termination. You have to put up to and including termination. In here, signed by the superintendent, it doesn't even threaten termination on it. It's like, look, you can do this again, and we're gonna be even more pissed. But you get to keep the money, certainly. But it's so funny that like
we're gonna be so vaguely pissed off in such a non-specific way.
You're so lucky that honestly we don't really need to make money or anything because the public pays for it no matter what, and they really kind of need us and blah blah blah. So that it's like, look, everyone's gonna be mad at you because you're blowing all of our covers. You know, it's not that you're being dishonest or you're stealing, which of course is a crime that ostensibly they investigate, but like. It's so wild that she would have at least 3 opportunities to commit time theft. Time theft against the public on behalf of the New Orleans Police Department, which of course is supposed to serve the public. That is just the craziest shit that I've ever heard.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn. So happy we had you for that story.
I'm
laughing and I'm learning.
Yeah, that's really something. Well done, New Orleans.
Yes.
And like, look, and I know this is gonna run counter to our political beliefs, but this is what happens with fucking unions, man. I hate to say it. You know, like this is why unions should be more widespread so that we would all like if every trades worker and you wouldn't even have to be in what are considered the trades, but if we had wider union representation, I think there would be less individual union power. And I think like in a police union, firefighter union, blah, 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 like they've built this palace where there's no accountability for anything. And it defies the original purpose of the union. And it gives anti-union people beautiful ammunition to oppose unions.
Damn.
Because this is the sort of like graft and corruption that your average red state red asshole, and also it's ironic that I'm using red here, Republican prick this is what they're talking about. Yeah. This is where union protects people from accountability, and it's like you're fucking everything up for the rest of the workforce. You know?
Oh, that's a very interesting point. Like, so if we had more, if unions were more, if the average worker knew what it was like to be in a union, then unions wouldn't have such a bad rap because it would be ubiquitous.
Yes, and I also think there would be, and far be it from me to theorize what this would look like, but I think there would be like an infrastructure of like accountability, inter-union accountability, like where you're making us look bad for blah, blah, and blah reason. You're making us look bad for blah, blah, and blah reason. So like it would be a separate, not governmental in the sense of the actual state, but like an inter-union governance that would prevent this kind of stuff, you know, because this shames the whole notion of it, you know. Jesus. Yeah.
This is the most impassioned speech we've had on this podcast.
And it's about
Bobby's
time
HR.
Theft.
So let's go to our next story, which is something we find ourselves talking about a lot on this show. Flock cameras. Bobby, are you familiar with flock cameras?
I'm not. Okay. I heard you say that earlier, and I'm not.
Yes. So I'm always excited to tell people about this because it's a brand new phenomenon. So they are a ALPR camera, which stands for Automatic License Plate Reader Camera. So you've probably heard of license plate reader cameras that are up. But Flock is a company that in the last 2 years have revolutionized what these are and what they do and what their effect are. So one, they put them everywhere. So there's thousands and thousands of these cameras. And so in the cities and towns that they're in, they are so ubiquitous that you could say they're almost like on every intersection, right?
Yeah.
So they're
supposed to. That's how they got Luigi.
That's how is how they got Luigi. So so they're supposed to just take a capture an image of a license plate for the purpose if, there's someone being kidnapped. But because they are everywhere, they in effect are taking a video, right? Because they can track your car. They know you're on this intersection, this intersection, this intersection. So that's one. The one change of license plate reader cameras, thanks to Flock, is that they are so many of them now that they are like mass surveillance tracking devices. The other thing that Flock has done is created a network. So if you, and I'm oversimplifying it, but if your police department signs a contract with Flock, it's not that you have access to Flock cameras just in your jurisdiction. You have access to all the Flock cameras around the country.
Wow.
So now any old rank and file police officer has eyeballs way beyond their jurisdiction that is essentially tracking everyone intersection by intersection. So it's like a new world of mass surveillance that we have very recently come under, and is creating a ton of issues. Like ICE is using these. They're not supposed to, but would you believe that a lot of cops are friends with ICE agents and believe in what ICE is doing? Crazy. They're union guys. Who would have thought?
Jeez Louise.
These leftist socialist union guys would be supporting ICE so much. And there was quite insanely in Texas. This is what happens when you decriminalize something like abortion. If you criminalize abortion, that means now it's a crime. Now cops are going to be on the front line of this shit, right? And so there was a disgruntled ex-boyfriend who his girlfriend, newly pregnant girlfriend, had left him, and she's driving off, doesn't know where she is, won't tell him. He calls 911, tells the cops that she's planning on getting an abortion, which is illegal in Texas. So they Flock camera. The police in Texas start searching for her around the fucking country, trying to track down a fucking lady trying to get an abortion using this new Flock system of surveillance that, again, some random ass cop in Texas can search every intersection in Chicago if he wants to. So, yes, that's where we're at right now.
So just real quick on that particular case, would the probable cause be that she's going interstate to get an abortion, or that she's going to get an abortion in Texas at some illegal clinic? Or is it either one?
It's that. So here's what they said. They said that the boyfriend said that she used like the pills, and they said that they were tracking her down for her safety. So they just gave
the pills didn't hurt her.
Exactly. So it was very, very dishonest. But yeah, they were tracking down a woman trying to get they believe was trying to get an abortion.
And so the cops have access to this Flock camera network because Flock is an independent company, or
it's a private company. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if like that, and that's a great point. Like if it was a public governmental thing, I think it would be much less likely they would have this national network because jurisdiction, right?
Yeah.
So it is clear violation of these principles of jurisdiction. Seems extremely illegal, but no one has done anything about it. So it's just a reality that we're in. So here is what we're reading about today. Okay. You got this one.
Yep. And it also seems like that would be one of those what do you call it? It's a feature, not a glitch sort of things, where they remove the jurisdictional apparatus so that now they can violate that whenever they want, and they don't. And it's like, oh, it's a private company. So we get to do it.
It's a great pitch to the cops.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And where you
get an account with us, you can look wherever you want. So,
that's where these surveillance companies have such a great, it's right under being a defense contractor, right?
Yeah.
In terms of like a business model. Oh, my customers have infinite money, the taxpayer.
Yep.
Well, this seems like a great business to go into.
And also, my customers are at the vanguard of the justice system. So if we do anything wrong or whatever, we're protected, and nice gig if you can get it.
Yeah.
Okay. Futurism. Police are using AI camera networks to stalk women.
Shocker.
Of course, that's the first place they go.
Yeah.
Police officers across the U.S. are using automated license plate readers, ALPRs, to stalk personal romantic interests. According to an analysis by the Institute for Justice, there are already 14 cases across the country where cops are alleged to have abused ALPR access to follow spouses, exes, and even complete strangers. If it was going to be, if you had a choice between those three, which would you choose? I think I got to go with X. Anywho,
if you were the cop or the one being surveilled.
if I was the cop,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
The as men, the one we clearly empathize with in this situation. Yeah. Definitely it would be my ex.
I would be
yeah.
going after the X. The timing is striking, with the majority of the stalking cases coming after 2024, the year when AI ALRP company Flock Safety initiated a massive expansion into over 4,000 U.S. cities. Though Flock claims to have internal safeguards to prevent this kind of abuse, internal safeguards which certainly they can't go into too much detail about.
Yeah, exactly.
To prevent this kind of abuse, the bulk of the 14 cases were uncovered by the victims, as opposed to the company or internal police investigations.
Right? Like, it was uncovered by the victims. Like, we really can't even imagine how much cops are doing this. Because, one, it is so easy.
Yes.
It is right there. Seems like not like you're not physically going out and doing something.
Oh,
Seems
yeah.
like a very easy thing to get away with.
These 14 cases must have been this motherfucking creep showing up in so many different places, so with so few clues, because these I mean, let's face it, traumatized women are probably experts at hiding their track from these fucking psychos. And finally they're like, okay, there's no fucking way you could have found me in Juneau, Alaska.
Yeah.
You know?
I know you're a terrible police officer. You failed your exams twice.
God almighty. Okay, so wow. So it's like, yeah, you simply cannot be showing up at every single place. Okay, as opposed to the company or internal police investigations. In Milwaukee, for example, an 8-year veteran of the Milwaukee Police Department named Josue Ayala resigned after allegedly using Flock to track his romantic partner, as well as the romantic partner's ex, almost 180 times over just 2 months.
Oh my God.
That's the first thing he does when he gets up and sits on the toilet. It's the first thing he does when he logs in the office. The two victims,
180 times is too much, even for a sex criminal police officer.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
I feel myself sympathizing, but I'm like, bro, come on, get it together, bro. Like, you go to
get
therapy.
on field, man.
Yeah. We know you're into some weird shit. Get
Yeah.
on there.
The two victims only became aware they were being stalked after one of them looked up their license plate on the auditing site, haveibeenflocked.com.
Damn.
Ooh, check that out,
Yeah, it's a
listeners.
plug.
Wow. Today, Flock operates in over 6,000 cities across the U.S. with over 76,000 license plate readers and counting. Given the proliferation of license plate readers and the power dynamics at play, police watch out for one another after all. It's not hard to imagine the number of active ALRP abuse cases are actually much higher, of course.
Yeah.
Quote, the fundamental problem with these systems is that they place private information about people's movement over time in the hands of every officer, end quote, said Michael Seufer, an Institute for Justice attorney whose work involves challenging ALPR expansions. Quote, without the constitutional safeguard of a warrant requirement, that predictably allows officers to abuse their access to these systems for things like stalking romantic partners, end quote. Wow.
Yeah, and we didn't even get into that part of just like, what about the Fourth Amendment? Like, we are all being tracked right now by the police just driving in your neighborhood.
Yes. Well, and I mean, and this is not a sufficient answer, but at least before there was this sort of unwritten contract where it's like, all right, we're being fucking surveilled, you know, but it's only in the service of if we commit a crime or something like that. Like, like that whole age-old thing, which I do find myself like falling prey to this sometimes, like in a logical fallacy, like where if you're not doing anything wrong, you got nothing to worry about, which is the wrong way to look at it, of course. But in this regard, the apparatus is a fucking private company that they can use whatever they want.
Yeah.
Like you don't even have that insufficient reasoning.
And it's like, and in this case with these creepy cops, if you did nothing wrong, you do have something to worry about because these fucking cops, like you said, are waking up on their phone on their toilet, stalking all of us.
Yes,
or, not all of us, but
Well,
They
I should
can
be
if they
so
want
lucky
to.
if
Yeah.
they're stalking me. But man, that is fucking 180 times in over 2 months, in just over 2 months. So that's 60 days. That's at least 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Checking the romantic partner and the romantic partner's ex.
Yeah.
God almighty.
Look, we got to get off our phones, y'all. Come on. We're so addicted. We don't even have conversations with each other anymore.
That's a romantic partner X voice. We need to get off our phones, man. The deep state is going a little too far. Jesus Christ. Wow.
Yeah. So this brings us to our last story of our main episode. Plug in the Patreon if you want more. But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, another stereotype for cops should be that they are perverts. And because every week,
time and again,
every week in our fucking headline roundup, it is insane. And it's not usually, obviously it's never fun to talk about. It's usually not interesting. It's just terrible. But every now and then we get something so unimaginable and absurd that I do want to talk about it on the pod. So we're going to Tampa Bay, Florida, reading from the Tampa Bay Times. Pasco deputy arrested after investigation into dead body photo sent to teen student.
Jesus.
Yes. A Pasco County Sheriff's deputy was arrested last month after he deleted a social media app from his phone during an investigation into whether he sent a photo of a dead body to a 13-year-old female student at Wesley Chapel Charter High School, court records show. Justine Lopez Rodriguez was assigned as a security detail at Pinecrest Academy when he was arrested March 13 on a felony charge of evidence tampering, records show. A spokesperson for the sheriff's office said in an email Tuesday that Lopez was immediately fired after his arrest. The agency did not publicly announce the arrest at the time. The investigation began March 5th when the girl disclosed to officials at Pinecrest, a K-12 school, that she'd been communicating with Lopez, according to an arrest report. A Pasco sheriff's detective interviewed the girl at the school with her parents present. Lopez was working in uniform at the school when he began communicating with the student earlier this year, the report states. The girl said Lopez added her on Snapchat in late January or early February, and they communicated regularly over a period of weeks. So,
adults on Snapchat, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
It should be illegal.
Yeah.
17 years old, that's the fucking cutoff, man.
Yeah. It should be like having child porn. Like you're
Yes.
going to jail. You're in jail now.
We know what you're doing with this shit.
Yeah.
You ever see that thing where someone was telling me about it, I haven't seen it, but where
Chris D'Elia.
Crystal,
You gotta watch it, bro. Can't believe you haven't seen it. It's one of my favorite pieces of media that includes The Godfather. It is up there, dude. I will send it to you.
Okay, thank you. Continue. Go
But
on.
yes,
So what
but I'll explain to anyone who's listening. It is. We all know now that Chris D'Elia is had a teen sex cult basically going that he was operating, and he is on a podcast and they're talking about a story on Snapchat, and something like this is brought up where they found someone's snaps where he was being a creep, a pedophile, and D'Elia was like, "Well, wait, how do they? That's impossible. What are you guys talking about? Even though the snaps go away, that's kind of the whole point of Snapchat, right? Otherwise, we could sue them, right? Because they're lying to us." And they're like, "No, you could find those old snaps." And one of those things that
you could see, evidently, you could see the math.
Yes, they do the math, the math equations. Yeah, it's beautiful. But yeah, besides, and we haven't gotten to the morbid part of it yet. But one of the reasons I wanted to include the story is the absurdity, because the whole thing that he has been charged with is evidence tampering. Like that is what they got him with.
Yeah.
Not the reaching out and flirting with a 13-year-old girl while working at a school. It is evidence tampering. So we'll go into the evidence tampering right now. The girl described the conversations as initially involving, quote, general topics such as food, basketball, working out, other casual discussion.
I've seen that 100 times. That's how these fucking creeps always start.
Yep,
So you into food? You like basketball?
Yeah,
Working
you know,
out?
the way any one of us would try to connect with a child, right? Oh, what do you like spaghetti? You know, that's how, you know, it's fucking disgusting. But then the conversations, quote, became flirtatious and made her uncomfortable, the report states. Lopez told her he was a good cook, discussed the food with the girl, and made a statement to the effect of, quote, we can make something happen, according to the report. The girl interpreted that statement as, quote, relationship-related and possibly sexual in nature.
Accurate interpretation.
The report states, on March 1st, Lopez messaged the girl saying he had seen a dead body and sent her a photo of what appeared to be a body lying on the ground in the woods near a river. The girl recalled the body was clad in a red shirt and blue pants and that the body's rib cage was visible. So,
holy
yes.
shit.
A necessary pause here on how much of a psychopath this guy is.
I think it's a clear case of you're flirting online, you're flirting over sex message. You got to keep pushing the envelope. You got to keep raising the stakes.
Yeah.
He said we can make something happen with the food. She didn't seem to bite. He's like, all right, I gotta go big. The next dead body he finds.
He's like, all right, I'm on chapter 4 of the game. I haven't finished it yet, but I think I have to initiate some physical contact. Can't do it over Snapchat. Oh, I'll send her a picture of this fucking dead body.
Oh my god!
Didn't even ask her first. Hey, would you want to see it? Would you want to see a picture of a dead body?
You gotta get consent, bro. Even in Stand By Me, they said you want to see a dead body.
Yeah, You're right. He's clearly not a consent expert.
No.
So, that's my bad for being surprised at that part of this. So, based on the description of the body and the date the photo was sent, the detective who wrote Lopez's arrest report, Thomas Marrero Bruno, recognized the scene as one he responded to. Marrero Bruno also recalled that Lopez was the primary deputy at the scene during the sheriff's initial response. The girl also told investigators that Lopez at one point, quote, messaged words to the effect that he was driving past where she lived, which also made her uncomfortable.
Yeah,
yes.
See that?
The girl blocked Lopez on Snapchat on or about March 4th.
That March 4th must have been a tough day for Justine Lopez.
Yes.
There. Once you get blocked on Snapchat by a 13-year-old girl, the walls coming tumbling down, my friend. Holy shit.
Every real Snapchatter, we've all been there before, right? Every real certified snapper. I mean, once they
block you, bro, you're done.
Yep. Time to hit up her Gmail. We know how it goes.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, let's just keep reading. Marrero Bruno contacted Lopez by phone to let him know his name. To let him know his name had come up.
Hey, here's your name, Justine.
Yeah. Oh, I got a call. I got to hit up my boy Lopez. Let him know what's going on here. Let him know your name's come up in an investigation with a dead body.
This is awkward.
A 13-year-old girl. Okay. Come up in a criminal allegation and asked to speak to him. During an interview at his Zephyr Hills home on March 5th, Lopez confirmed that he had added the girl as a friend on Snapchat after she appeared through a suggested contact feature, and they'd exchanged messages. According to the report. Yeah, don't blame it on the fucking suggested contacts feature.
Up, man. It's the algorithm, dude.
Yeah,
I had nothing to do with it.
No, that shit happens like if you have someone's phone number, right? You already have a contact with them. It doesn't just come up. Asked about the image of human remains.
that must have been an awkward transition. About the human remains image.
It does seem to be his focus of his investigation. He's like, I don't care about your romantic life, Lopez. We're here to talk about evidence tampering. Asked about the image of human remains, Lopez said he told the girl he was at a call involving human remains, but he initially denied sending her any photos of the remains. Marrero Bruno asked to search Lopez's phone, and he complied. The detective recognized 3 photos time-stamped from the prior Sunday of the human remains taken at the scene. The detective asked if Lopez was certain he hadn't sent any photos to the girl. Lopez said he had taken photos and sent one to his wife.
Hey,
my
2
God.
consenting adults. That's the marriage contract. Sure thing.
The marriage contract is not texting no other bitches on Snapchat. All right, this fucking guy. Strike 3 for Lopez. He said he could not recall whether he had sent the images to the girl. Quote, but acknowledged that it was possible the juvenile may have received the images. Okay.
The interesting jump there, but all right.
Yeah. The remains were discovered in the Upper Wildlife Management Area on the morning of March 1st. According to the sheriff's office, investigators were still working Wednesday to identify the person, and no foul play was suspected.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. Marrero Bruno asked to access Lopez's Snapchat account. Lopez said he was unable to access the app, but provided the detective his username and password. In a follow-up interview, Lopez, quote, admitted that after receiving my earlier phone call informing him that there was a criminal allegation and that the detectives needed to speak with him, he deleted the Snapchat application from his phone, the report states. When asked why he deleted the application, the defendant stated words to the effect that Snapchat was the only thing he believed the investigation could be about.
It's always the cover-up.
Mm-hmm. Records show Lopez was released from jail a day after his arrest after posting the $5,000 bail. The evidence tampering charge is a third-degree felony punishable by up to 5 years in prison. A sheriff's office spokesperson said investigators do not expect to file any more charges in the case.
Wow. You know, is it morbid that I'm a little relieved that he didn't send her his dick, that he just sent her a dead body?
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? That's kind of nice, actually.
Yeah, honestly, probably a happier ending that he did do evidence tampering and didn't allow his conversation to escalate further, which it would have eventually gone to what you were saying.
It always
100%.
goes there. And you know,
100%.
this guy maybe, and hey, I was going to say no judgment, definite judgment, but it's like he's trying to make a thing happen with a 13-year-old girl. She's not into it. He at least is like, all right, fair enough. I don't got the consent, even though it'd be statutory rape anyway. I do require consent. I'm not going to go this route. I'm going to do a kind of cool pivot, though.
Sure, yeah.
And show her a dead body, and maybe we could be friends on a dead body in a dead body kind of way, you know?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he's like, look, I don't mind the friend zone, right? Like, we could all be friends. Who cares, you know?
Any adult with Snapchat on their phone, man.
Yeah.
Can't
Lock
do
them
it.
up.
You can't do it.
Lock them up.
Just get
Throw
the
away
fuck
key.
out of here.
Yeah. But yeah, that was our last story of the episode. Bobby Condon, please plug your special one more time. Please watch his special.
My new special out, Greatest Hits Volume 2 is on YouTube. It just came out last week. I do have another special on there called Greatest Hits Volume 1 that's out. I'm very proud of both of them. They turned out great. Would love if you watch it, and I appreciate you. Thank you. Thanks for having me, bro.
No, please watch it. Seriously, one of my favorite comedians, and thanks for listening. And yeah, head to the Patreon. Have a good one.
Hell yeah.